People are getting medical help and medical procedures and have no idea what their cost is up front. So on January 1st, there's going to be the first of two healthcare price transparency rules that are going to go into effect nationwide, where the hospitals are going to be required to put their cash prices and the prices that they've negotiated with insurance companies online in an easy format so that people can actually go and find it. So there is that out there. That's coming soon. But in the meantime, there are websites out there like soafee.com where you can go and you can actually shop with transparency. You can actually see the prices up front. And then there's the second rule, which is going to be in January 1st of 2022, which is going to require the insurance companies to also disclose their contracted rates. So there's a lot of good things coming, but I think the biggest thing is that people are just in the dark. They just don't know what's out there and where they can go to find great healthcare.
Nice. So I know you kind of touch base on the barriers of consumers, but you even touch base with a little bit of the little small business owners. But what about major employers? Are they having difficulty trying to obtain the health insurance for their employees?
Yes, cost, as we keep talking about, cost and high deductibles and not knowing what's available. There's a misconception for employers that traditional group insurance is the only way to go, and they have no other choices. The self-employed 1, 2, 3, 4-man groups don't think they qualify for any benefits because they only have a couple or no other employees. The other one are 1099 contractors. They can and should also be offered benefits as well. There's several different ways to go. There are level-funded ACA compliant plans for groups over 50 and groups under 50. I've had several conversations with employers that say, oh, I thought I had to go with one or the other. I thought I had to get everything available. I didn't know I could do one or the other. And the answer is yes. We even have, of course, the DPC. We have catastrophic plans out there. There's telemedicine. So there's even prescription plans. If somebody just wants a prescription plan, let's say somebody that has Medicaid and Medicaid wouldn't afford or wouldn't offer to pay a lot of the medications because it's not on their list or they wouldn't be authorized, they can get a prescription plan. So there's a lot of other options out there for them.
Nice. So let me ask you this, because you kind of both hit on this, and I want to just dive a little deeper into this. But you mentioned the different plans out there. You mentioned that if I'm a 55-year-old male that doesn't need maternity leave, why am I paying for it? So are there plans out there that you can actually put together like an a la carte menu?
Yes. Everything, and this is what people don't know when we're giving. The only option we're given is group insurance. Everybody gets the same thing. It's not a one-size-fits-all. There are ways to make it a la carte. There are ways to go into an employer group and say there's 50 employees, only 10 need maternity because they're in the ages of, having childbearing and having kids or want more kids. And then let's say 15 are male and the other ones have some health issues or don't need prescriptions because they only go to the doctor a couple times a year for physicals. If they get prescriptions, it's usually an antibiotic for an infection or an illness, and they don't want to pay the high cost of having a total package. So yes, we could do, and then we can also add in the supplementals. There's dental and vision that can be thrown in there. There's a lot of different ways to go, but that's not always offered, and that's the biggest problem.
And the flexibility of it is fantastic, and it's out there. People just need to know where to find it. As Jessica was saying, there's so many different options. It's not a one size fits all. We can, there's ways of tailoring a coverage package to your needs.
That's good. So I heard you both mention this over and over again, and obviously in the days of COVID, we've all heard it. Telemedicine. So how has this become more of the way of life now for us since we used to go out to the doctor's office?
Well, telemedicine has been around for quite some time, but of course, due to the pandemic, it's just come straight into the forefront. It's just it was a perfect match for the pandemic, so people don't have to leave their homes. 24 hours a day, you can call and talk to a doctor and basically get all the basic care that you need, except for the type of care where you would actually have to go and be physically looked at by, for certain things. But generally speaking, you can get many of your medical needs answered through telemedicine. And they are generally all board certified doctors. It's a great way. There's plans out there for not too much money where you can sign up for telemedicine for an entire year for very little money. Or you can just do it by the call. And usually by the call, it's anywhere from $20 to $40. But it's certainly a great way. And a lot of doctors, even in their practices, are encouraging people to go ahead and call them in. But, if they don't need to be there physically, the less people they have in their office, the better as far as the pandemic goes. So it's very interesting, and it's available. It's just one of those choices that are out there. It's not just all a one. It's not a one size fits all.
Awesome. Do you have anything to add to that, Jessica?
Yes. One thing that a lot of people don't know about telemedicine is that, let's say you have no insurance at all, and you need blood pressure medication or diabetic medication, and nobody's going to give you that prescription. So you can call the doctor, the telemedicine doctor, tell them what you need. They'll call in that prescription for you. So you're paying for the telemedicine visit, but it's not like going to the ER or an urgent care, and you get the prescription that you need. So with a lot of people losing their jobs due to COVID, that's been a way for them. When I talk to people, it's like, did you know that you can do that through telemedicine? It's a godsend to them. It's like, oh my gosh, I just pay X amount of dollars and I can have my diabetic medication. I really need it. So that's one thing that people don't know that is available. And of course, it's only for minor things. An antibiotic for a child with an earache at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you have a question of broken bone, they're going to tell you at least need to go to an urgent care because you need x-rays and I can't treat you over the phone. But for most things that we deal with on a daily basis, it could be addressed.
Okay.
There's even a pediatric version of the telemedicine where they will send you a box full of equipment like a thermometer, an ear scope, all kinds of things. So you can actually do the work of the physician right there in your house and convey that message to the doctor. It's amazing what they're doing.
Awesome. So is there any special enrollment period for the different types of healthcare plans out there in this world?
Yes. For the ACA for Obamacare, or it would still call Obamacare. That ended yesterday. So you have from November 1st to December 15th if you wanted to go on the marketplace and get an Obamacare plan where they have subsidy and they pay for a portion of your health insurance for the month. But everything else, really, unless the employer has an open enrollment period and then only new employees can sign up. The old employees, if they didn't want to sign up, they have to wait till the next open enrollment with their insurance. But for the most part, they can sign up for other plans out there individually as well. It's just the Obamacare plans that have that window. The only way to sign up for those, to enroll in those, is if you have a life event, a divorce, a marriage, a new child, loss of a job, things like that.
Gotcha. Did you want to add anything to that, Mark?
Yeah, I believe that a lot of the supplemental type policies and things are there's no, if I'm not mistaken, Jessica, there's not really an open enrollment for that. You can sign up for that anytime. Am I correct in saying that?
Correct. As an individual, you can sign up for those anytime. As an employee, you can sign up for those anytime if your employer allows it. Again, if there's an open enrollment, let's say the employer started in February, open enrollment is again in February of the following year, unless there's new employees and then we're called to do that enrollment. But if the employer allows it to sign up at any time, if they declined it before and now they want it, yes, you can. There's no strict rule about that. It all depends on the employer.
Okay. So we are now at the very end where I actually give my guests the ability to give their contact information. So if you each want to take a turn, you can say how my listeners can get a hold of you by email, phone number, whatever you want to do. So you go ahead, Mark, first, and then Jessica. All
right. Again, my name is Mark Goddard, and I'm with soafee.com, and I need to clarify it's SOAFEE. S is in Sam, O-A, F is in Frank, E-E, soafee.com. And it's a medical pricing transparency website where people can get the lowest cash pay price for any type of medical services. My phone number is 941-504-6364 if you'd like to contact me. And I'm at mgoddard@carepayinc.com.
Awesome. Go ahead, Jessica, your turn.
Okay, my name is Jessica Patraw. My phone number is 941-830-0880. My email is jessica@carepayinc.com. And I wanted to say that every Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, I have a Zoom informational meeting. And it's just, to go over what plans are available and to answer any questions on anything. There's no obligation. There's no cost for that. Just, a half-hour chat with me. And you can get that on the soafee.com site at the bottom of the first page. You click on it, it takes you directly into the Zoom on Tuesdays at noon.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being on Socially Joe. I look forward to having you on again as guests and learn even more about healthcare because there's so much to go through. But once again, thank you both for being a guest.
Thank you, Joe, for having us.